listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889. Thank you for listening to Community Forum. My name's Johnny Chandler. I'm the owner of KCCC 930 AM, the host of Community Forum. And with me today, I have two guests. It's going to be a first-time guest and a return guest. Our return guest, we'll start with him, is Michael Bromka. Michael Bromka is a member of the Heights Lion Club. He's been on before to tout what the Lion Club's doing, the spaghetti dinner and all kinds of stuff. Spaghetti dinner at lunch, right?
Indeed, yes.
Right, that one, yeah.
The Spaghetti Fest.
The Spaghetti Fest, which is also dinner at lunch, but you had a really good commercial, by the way, that we aired, so I really appreciate it. That was very clever. My other guest is Vashal Kolwadwala. So we're going to say
excellent.
Vashal Kolwadwala, right? How are you doing, sir?
Doing well, sir.
Good.
Thank
You are the lead pharmacist, the lead pharmacy manager at Advanced Medication here in Carlsbad?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, cool. So we're going to get into, it's mostly going to be about you and the pharmacy, and we're going to talk about shots and things that maybe families should be getting this time of the year. But Bromka, I want you to really quickly tell all the listeners how you helped me pronounce Vashal's last name.
Oh, okay. Well, you want to go on a vacation to Washington State. Where? Walla Walla, Washington. Well, you don't need both, so just Walla. And if you want to spend money there, you need a wad of cash. So now you got Wad Walla. And how do you do that? Well, you shovel coal. So coal, wad, Walla.
Okay.
Coal, wad, Walla.
Have you heard that before, Vashal? No. I mean, I'm seriously, he said it once and I was able to get it.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, and I on my note page here, which nobody can see because we're on the radio, it's not spelled correctly. I have it phonetically spelled so I can pronounce it correctly. So
that's funny.
Yeah. So I am going to once we're done recording, I'm going to want the official spelling so I can tag you on Facebook and stuff when we promote it.
Sure.
And by the way, geographically, you might ask them, where is this, where do you go to get the shots?
Well, so you're with Advanced Medication, which is here in Carlsbad. I believe it's next to the Carlsbad Medical Center, but why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about
Correct.
that?
So it's actually in, it's catty corner from Southwest Pharmacy.
Okay.
So everyone usually knows where Southwest is at. But it's 2402 West Pierce Street. We're in Suite 2B, B as in boy.
So, everybody knows where Southwest Pharmacy is at because of their sign. So do you guys need a better sign?
We're actually right next to it, and we're sister pharmacies. So
okay.
They are sister pharmacies. So anyone that really goes there, no one can get shots over there.
Oh, okay. So they just prescribe you medication and they direct you to shots. Because I thought that we were going to get, Michael, I thought we were going to get a real pharmacy rivalry right next door to each other. That's what I thought we were working on here. But that's not the case. So that's good news. So, Vashal, I want to learn a little.
The transit bus stops there, too.
Yes, it does. Yeah. So, and actually, the transit bus stops at all the right places in this community, by the way.
So pretty much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. So, what I wanted to ask, Vashal, is I want to learn a little bit about you first before we get into what you want to tell the community today. And more importantly, so just tell us about yourself. Are you married? Do you have kids? Why did you move to Carlsbad? What about New Mexico did you love? Just all of that.
Happily married. Me and my wife have been married for 16 years now.
Congratulations.
And we moved to Carlsbad, in 2020.
Okay.
And so I worked at...
Before? Literally, COVID was March?
We were in Albuquerque before 2020.
Okay. All right.
And then, it was around COVID is when we moved here. I moved over and I got the job over at CVS as a pharmacy manager. Mm-hmm. And then to the various pharmacies I worked here in town. But then I've always had my eyes set on Advanced Medication, to be quite honest. Okay,
so let me ask why. Why did you always have your eyes set on Advanced Medication?
It's a long-term care pharmacy. So what we do is we pretty much do immunizations, the everyday usual things out of a pharmacy, but also we do TB testing. The main thing that we do is compounding.
Okay.
So we compound things for hormones. Your pet needs compounds. We can do the pet compounds. So
correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to equate you to an old school pharmacy when all pharmacists used to compound.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
could someone explain what compounding is?
Oh, sorry. I have that inherent nature. I know what compounding is, but you're right.
Compounding is more of where if there's a medication that is not commercially available, that's something that we can put together by either getting the individual ingredients. So you get individual powder form of something. So what we do is we do hormone therapy and testosterone, progesterone, those kinds of things. And we get all the ingredients together, put it together in a form that you can use it, usually like a cream.
What's the average age of your patients?
They're in the elderly. So it's long-term care pharmacy is usually for the elderly.
Okay.
So I wanted to, we're not here to talk about hormone therapy or hormone therapy treatment,
definitely
right?
not.
But I do believe that there seems to be a larger or a growing number of what you might want to call younger people taking hormone therapy, right? Like, and so I guess the question is, and I've done it once, I've taken testosterone once. And while I did end up feeling like I was 22 again for a little while, I ultimately didn't really enjoy the experience that much.
Yeah.
And so I stopped taking it, but
So you probably had the injectable form.
I had like the pellets.
And so now we have to where we compound it and we put it into a cream.
Yeah.
And you would just rub the cream on yourself. It's either on the arms and or the inner thighs.
And that's like a daily cream that you would put on?
You just apply it daily, and then that's a lot better, and it helps with your levels of your testosterone.
Okay.
Let's say if you're going to use testosterone.
So do you have to take estrogen to compensate for the amount of testosterone you're adding to your body?
Progesterone. So
Progesterone,
you want to
okay.
do estrogen, and then progesterone would be the one that you.
And is that all in cream form, or would some of that be in a pill form?
It depends. Yeah, it
Okay.
depends on. We do troches and all the other.
So let's talk
stuff
about.
that's
So
compounded.
I'm interested in this, Michael. So we're going to take just another minute or so on it. So what about like that Total T commercial, right, with the old football, like Bo Jackson, or like where they take the pills and then.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think that you'll fluctuate really badly, I believe, if you take those pills. So like, what is that compared to like something you would get from a pharmacy?
Initially, what you would do is you're going to go see the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor is going to do your tests. So they'll take your testosterone, whichever estrogen, they'll check those levels. And then based on that, if you're low, high, whatever it is, and if the levels get to the point where the doctor's saying you need to get onto this hormone therapy, they'll get you on it. And then depends on what it is and what your levels are at.
Yeah.
We give it for the duration of time as well. And then you're going to increase it.
I know you're not a doctor, right? You're a pharmacist. So
He is a doctor.
Are you a doctor as well?
Doctor of pharmacy.
Yes, sir.
Like what specialty, or as a doctor and pharmacist, do you have a?
Mainly in this. Is
Is it an MD or a
this is what I wanted
PhD
to-
related?
It's a PharmD.
PharmD. Okay, I'm learning. Thank you for
Oh,
telling
that's
me
okay.
that.
Yeah,
That's
it
very
was.
interesting.
That's why I handed that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Doctor
I did not know that
pharmacology.
PharmD even existed as a designation after a name. So, congratulations. How much school is that?
Oh, it was 8 years total.
Okay.
And then I did my bachelor's degree before that. So
Okay.
took
So
a while. Took 10 years.
Okay. Yeah. No,
8 years in addition to the 4 years?
No. It's so I
4
did
years
the
of bachelor's.
4 years of bachelor's,
And
and then they do 4 years of the professional.
Yeah.
Okay. So 8 total years.
Yeah.
All right. And so the only other question I have with that is like, the doctor says your testosterone levels are low because we're all men here, so we're talking about the male aspect of it. So you know they say your hormone levels are low, but even is there any negative long-term effect of the younger that you take these things?
So the effects are all dependent on pretty much your labs. No, there's not really that many side effects from testosterone. It just depends on if you're going to use it at the prescribed amount.
Okay.
So if you have, let's say you're going to need 1 click, and that's equivalent to 0.25 milligrams of the medication for testosterone from when we dispense.
Okay.
If you use that as you need to, then you shouldn't be going up or down. You should be going at a steady pace.
Okay.
So you're not going to experience the side effects as much.
Okay. All right. And then, so I guess as an elderly man, you would want to probably take that as a result of the idea that you are losing muscle mass and all those things as you age.
Yeah,
So
all
that'll-
that thing is going to come into factor,
Does it help?
especially with when you're going to go see the doctor. Etc.
All right. So is there another compound pharmacy in Carlsbad?
No, we are the only ones, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was like when I was thinking about the pharmacies floating around. You know,
Yeah.
Walgreens isn't doing it, or CVS is.
No, in fact, a lot of the compounds such as magic mouthwash, which is just something when you have mucositis or you just have some sort of infection, something that's going on in your mouth, you're going to take magic mouthwash for. Technically, all of the pharmacies in town can do that, but they either don't have the ingredients or they don't have the
Capacity,
staff or
yeah,
capacity
right.
to do
Because
it.
you know how it gets over there.
That's
right?
why they usually just send everyone over to Advance, and so we compound that for.
So like when I'm not feeling well, I do like a Sudafed, right? And then you got to go to the pharmacy counter to get a Sudafed, right? And so you hate to, like, if you stop in Walgreens and do that, man, depending on the time of the day, the line's not worth just a packet of
Yeah.
Sudafed, no matter how bad you're feeling. But you show up right at 9 a.m. and you're good. You can get it right away.
Yeah.
So could you get Sudafed at advanced medication?
No, that's what Southwest is.
That's
for.
what Southwest is for. All right, that's
Southwest,
the
if you can
sister
get that
pharmacy.
over
So you're
there.
not competing at all.
Nope.
Okay, good. So
So you're basically a bartender and mixologist of medicine.
Sure.
nice.
good way to
Okay,
put it.
not bad, Michael. All right, so Vashal, I know that when you and Michael Bromka reached out about coming on the show, We obviously want to make people aware of advanced medication. Anybody that's doing anything in our community, government, private business, nonprofit organization, if you're doing something for Eddy County, in Eddy County, local, we want you to come on. There's never a charge to be on Community Forum. We want you to promote what you're doing here because you're doing it locally. And we're all about local. So I guess knowing what we're going to talk about, but the listeners don't leading into it, what do you think is like one of the most important or higher concerns that you would have for patients like right now and maybe preventative care?
Right now for the flu season, it would be get vaccines.
Okay.
And along with the flu, also getting the COVID vaccine.
Now, can you get that in one shot now?
So no, it's not in one shot. You'd have to get 2 separate shots. So we usually do one on each arm. It just depends on whoever it is, what's going on. I've had patients where they've had some form of surgery on one arm. So then we usually just do the 2 shots in the other arm. But definitely getting your vaccines is very important right now. I have seen that there have been a few of them that I've seen over at the hospital where they're getting COVID.
Okay.
And so COVID is still out there.
It's definitely floating around.
Definitely, yeah, and the severity of it isn't as bad as it used to be when it first came out, but it's still there. And it's still, if you're immunocompromised, those kinds of conditions, then definitely that's something you just want to consider that you want to get this vaccine.
What is it about autumn you don't tell me to get the shot in the springtime. It's usually in the autumn that you get it.
So viruses actually last a good amount in the cold. And that's why it's like a big thing where during the cold season is when they float around in space or in
right.
air or
and
whatever.
it's cold outside, so we're all
cold,
indoors with each
they
other.
have the capacity to last longer.
So do you think that the idea that the weather changes outside and then you come inside and it's hot, you're outside, it's cold, inside it's hot, it's outside, you're cold, is that a positive thing for your immune system when that happens?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's more along the lines of
we're more in each other's faces.
Yeah, that well. It's
Okay.
like when you're inside and it's colder, you're going to be closer to this, especially because when the cold starts, we also have holidays, right?
Yeah.
So people are going to get together for the holidays. And so they're going to spread whatever. If they have one person that has flu and they're like, it's just, I'm still getting over allergies. Well, they're just spreading it on.
Right. And
And
it can feel like allergies too. It can feel like not a big
deal. And
deal.
the interesting thing is, once you get your vaccine, it takes about 2 to 4 weeks before it actually starts kicking in and starts.
So you should have already had a vaccine by the time that you're listening to this, right? Technically. So,
Well, yeah.
So we're talking to the individuals.
Optimally.
Optimally. Thank you. So we're talking to the individuals that have not received a vaccine at this point, right? And so is it like, so you would encourage them to get it before the holidays, right? Before
Definitely.
Thanksgiving.
And if they're scared of any aspect of, hey, I'm scared, I think this is what's going to happen if I get this vaccine or that's going to happen, come into the pharmacy or call us and I can explain it too.
So is the COVID vaccine still free?
It is.
Okay. What about flu shot? Is that just insurance covered?
It's just mainly it's going to be covered by the insurance, and most of it's because it falls under the preventative health. It is going to be covered.
So the COVID vaccine the flu shot is not really politicized anymore. I think society feels like they've come down to getting that if they choose to, right? But the COVID vaccine, I think because of the politics associated whenever the COVID was floating around, I'm not sure that there's a lot of members of the community that are jumping at the chance to get the COVID vaccine.
True. It is one of the things that people still are scared of. I have a good portion of the Carlsbad population come in when they want to get their vaccines. They only want to get the one, which is the flu vaccine.
Yeah, sure.
They don't want to get the COVID. So it's okay. I spend time with them. I get to know what's going on. I also talk to them, and I hear their concerns. And some of them are really outlandish.
Okay.
But then some are legitimate. That
Can
makes
you
sense.
give me one outlandish one?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, yeah.
One of the elderly patients that came in, she was concerned that the COVID vaccine was going to affect her in a drastic way. And so she came in, she wanted to go through with it, first of all, but she didn't really know what was going to occur after I gave it to her. So up to the point where I was about to give her the injection, then she turns around and she looks at me and she says, I've heard in my country that after you give me this vaccine, and this was a female that I was giving this one to, and she said that my concern is it's going to turn me into a werewolf.
Oh, okay.
And so
All right.
I said, well, there's nothing you need to worry. She said that it's going to turn me into a werewolf, and all the men in my country, in my home country, this is what's been happening, that they're changing to werewolves.
Okay.
Wow.
And so my way of just sort of, helping her come, just sort of bring her everything down, and she was going to calm her down, was you don't have to worry about it because you're female. So there's
Right. So
even
werewolf
if I give
only
it to you, it's not going to affect you.
Would that work?
It did.
Did it? Okay.
She started laughing. She just quieted down, and she was like, okay. And so I gave her the vaccine.
Okay. So why do you feel like members in our, and Michael, sorry, let me ask this one. I'll let you get in there, of course. But tell me why you feel like members of our community have concerns about taking the COVID vaccine.
So there's a lot of misinformation that's out there, especially with social media. That's, I think, number one. But also certain, let's say, political parties that aren't really giving the full truth about it. Now, vaccines have been here for a long time. They work. They definitely do what they need to. As you know, we've had the recent measles outbreak.
Right.
And that was in West Texas. That was a big thing, especially with that particular population.
And Eddy County had some of the highest cases of measles in New Mexico as well.
Yeah, in Hobbs, and then we had here in Carlsbad too. But I mean, if people just get the vaccines, so for the kids, they have to be at least 1 year old in order to get that particular vaccine.
The COVID vaccine?
No, for the MMR.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
And then they would get like an MMRV version, but at least this way they would be covered. And if your kid is 1 year old, definitely go in and get that vaccine. That's one of the things that we do provide, but since we're long-term care, we don't really go towards that. More of the pediatrician's offices would do those particular vaccines that are for pediatrics. But yeah, that's just one thing. And then for COVID, the misinformation that's out there is, if I get the vaccine, if I get one vaccine and then I get the COVID vaccine at the same time, so let's say I get flu and then COVID, it's too much for my immune system.
Okay.
I said, no, that's not the case. Your immune system is actually very capable of handling more than 4 shots. Now, I usually just do 4, so I'll do 2 in one and then 2 in the other.
And then they're just like multiple days of sore arms.
And you're just, you're going to have sore arms, but it's all right. You just work it out.
Yeah, right. They're equally sore, right? It's like not a problem. Ron, what do you got?
Yes, I had an anecdote about not getting a vaccine. So throughout my 60s, I got a vaccine. Every year they would offer it for free. Great. But I was very impecunious. I didn't have much money, and I wasn't earning much money. And one year they didn't give the vaccine early, and I thought, it's $20. So I said, the heck with it. I'll wait around for them. I got the flu, and it kicked my butt. It was so bad. I was down like near the downtown McDonald's, and I called my friend Milton, and I was walking up. I could barely get to the library, and he drove down, picked me up, and took me home, and I was sick as a dog for 2 or 3 days. I missed those days of work and maybe $200 worth of income for $20.
That's a very good point.
But all the other days, other years when I got the vaccine, no flu.
Yeah, the same thing with me. So in 2013, I remember I had influenza B. It was the first time I ever got the flu, and I had to go to the hospital. I was hospitalized. Luckily, my cousin was working in the ER at the time. He's also an ER physician, and so he took me in. He knew right away that I had the influenza B, but I walked in. I could barely walk in, and I was like, "This is something else. You got to check me for everything." And he's like, "No, you got the flu." He showed me the test results. He's like, "Yep, you have influenza B." And since then, I've been getting the vaccines for flu every year, and it hasn't been as bad, so to where I had to be hospitalized.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is anybody that chooses not to get the flu shot or the flu vaccine every year, maybe somebody such as myself, is just gambling till they do get it?
Exactly, until you do get it, and then you're never going to know how it's going to affect you. So why take that chance, especially when we have vaccines that can help prevent it? And you're mainly just building your immune system up to where you're going to get a good response.
So let me ask you another question about vaccines versus the word vaccine versus the word shot. Okay. So there was some of that when it came down, I guess, in COVID. Is it a COVID shot or is it a COVID vaccine, right? So I'm just saying from my perspective, when I think of vaccine, I think of a measles vaccine or the chickenpox vaccine or polio vaccines, which means you take this and you will not ever get it, right? So and I think that is my definition of what a vaccine is. just from whatever, just from society, right?
So it's not that you're not going to get it; it's that it's going to help lessen the severity of it when you, if you do get it.
Okay, so like the polio vaccine, right? Right. So the entire country was convinced that this is obviously a great vaccine. We do not want people paralyzed or having a hard time walking for the rest of their life.
My dad
right?
had polio. He had polio.
Right. So there's a lot. And I know, and it seems to be something that's still that you can tell in some older generations, right? But that's starting to go away. It's almost doesn't seem to exist anymore, right?
Right.
But so that when you took the polio vaccine, that meant that you could still get polio, but you wouldn't have the negative effects of it, or you weren't able to get polio at all.
So it would help lessen the severity if you did get the virus itself.
So this is what I'm getting at, right, Michael? Too. This is what I think I'm getting at. I'm trying to maybe debunk the idea between the word shot and the word vaccine, right? So I think there's a pervasive thought in society. This is just my thought that a vaccine means you're just going to be cured and you're never going to get it, right?
Okay.
And a flu shot insinuates that that's something you need to take every year to help that prevention, right?
Okay.
So that's where my
Is he
mindset's
right?
at.
No,
Tell me.
So I think it's just mainly like short. They just want to shorten it from having a vaccine to just doing a shot.
So if somebody gets stuck or hung up on the words vaccine or shot, they shouldn't. It's the same thing. It's just what terminology choose to use.
Right. And I think it's just because it's easier to say shot than to say vaccine or
right.
immunization.
Yeah, because you got one syllable, 3 syllables,
Right.
6 syllables.
I think that's what it was going down towards.
Immunization. Right. Yeah. So you got so many syllables. Yeah.
Can I just say that I'm afraid of needles? Now, I'm a guy who gave blood 5 times a year, for 48 years. But it's still, needles creep me out. And even the tiny little needles that you come at me, you watch me. I look away. I'm like,
I've had people that have tattoos all over their body, but then they see the needle and they pass out. And I've had one individual who's this really big muscle guy.
Yeah, I'm a big oil field guy, right?
Yeah, and he had tattoos all over him, but he passed out when he saw the needle.
So now wait, if he passed out, he's
this is why
do you
I have
still
a
give
thing
him the
where,
shot?
No, of course. I wait for them to wake up and then I give it to them. No, I can't do that.
So
But he
anytime
came there for it.
anytime I've ever given blood, I have 3 tattoos, but I've been tattooed 5 times. That helps you realize is my smart choices as a young man, right? But just a joke for myself, right? But the idea is that anytime I've ever gotten a tattoo, I've nearly passed out, like every time.
Oh, okay.
And then when I have blood drawn, I have to lay down. I have to tell them and warn them that I have to lay down. So I'll never get a tattoo ever again because why did I want to go through that pain? I pass out at the idea of a shot or blood,
Well, so for the experience, if no one's ever had the vaccine before, it just feels like when someone pinches you, that's what it feels like. It's like a little pinch.
Yeah.
Well, the pain is really way less than the anticipation.
Oh, it's not really, but it's actually it's in your head, right? You see the needle, you see it going, and it's your head more than anything else. I think.
As you say that, actually, the white coat syndrome is a real thing. So that happens to a lot of people when they see somebody walking and they see a healthcare professional walking into the room and they're about to give you a vaccine, immunization shot, whichever. They're going to start freaking out. They start getting their anxiety starts going up. They start seeing
right. And they can't really control it either, right? Nice deep breaths maybe will help, but yeah.
I don't wear it. I don't wear it before that reason. So
okay.
I'm always in there. I usually have this on, whatever. I'll have my my shirt on,
collar shirt, something like that. Yeah. Huh.
But I won't wear that for that reason.
So let me ask you, how long have you lived in Carlsbad now?
So
since 2020, you said,
2020.
right? Okay,
Yep.
But you lived in New Mexico your whole life? Mm-hmm. Okay, grew up in Rio Doso, you mentioned before?
I was born in India.
Okay.
But I moved to the States when I was 7 years old.
Okay, great. American citizen, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, welcome to the team, bud. All right, I'm glad you're here. What I wanted to ask you is...
He's a Heights Lion, too.
Oh, Heights Lions Club. I did not mention that about him. No, that's good. That's a great organization, the Lions Club is for sure. I wanted to ask you, why do you feel like there seems to be a pervasive anti-vaccination thought process in our community?
I think a lot of it stemming from the social media as well as what's coming from the administration right now.
Do you blame Jim Carrey and Jenny McCarthy?
Actually, so from that, Jenny McCarthy, that was like back in the day.
Yeah. When Larry King was still on CNN.
And then
right.
The Dr. Wakefield, I don't know if you know who that is.
No, I don't.
Andrew Wakefield is the person that was in charge. He's
in
the one
Britain,
that,
right?
Yeah, he was the one that was that. He made up a fake article, pretty much, or a fake test,
scientific study or something
of
right.
that. Once you get the vaccine, it has so many preservatives and it has the mercury, the thimerosal, all that. And he made it to where if you get this injected into you, he put that fear into everybody. And from that's where a lot of this occurred. And I think that misinformation started
And this
at
was
that
how
point.
long ago? 30 years ago? Or
Yeah.
something?
Well, no, it's, God, I want to say at least 20, maybe 15 years ago.
No, I think longer than that. Yeah. But anyways, they.
But it did do the damage of what
Of the
people
reputation.
of the misinformation
but then they did
that
a
went
ton
out.
of tests.
Right, and so they even had to have him. He redacted all his article. He actually lost his license.
But the social media lives
But then
on.
exactly.
Right? I mean, literally, I could pull up X today, right? And especially since we've been talking about it, right?
Yeah.
They're listening
Yeah,
to
yeah.
us, right? I'll probably end up seeing that video, that short clip online, and it'll be projected to us as if it was something that they did yesterday.
Right, and so that's one of you're absolutely right.
But they tested extensively and they debunked the whole thing.
Well, that's where
Everything
community
they
notes
asserted.
comes in handy on X.
Well,
if they
see,
decide
we
to do
know
that.
that, right? But not everybody gets that, right?
Right.
They didn't really get that information. They won't really be able to dig deeper into
Well,
it.
I want to ask you one more question, and I think
sure.
maybe I'm getting deep here. I don't know, not for you, but for me. So one of the things, another rumor, we're debunking rumors here today, I think. Like one of the things that I have been told or I've heard is that we compound a lot of the vaccines into one vaccine now, if compounding is the right word. So, it used to be you get one and then you come back 6 months later, get another one, whatever the timetable is for children, right?
Okay.
Right. And then, but basically what they're doing is they're putting like hepatitis B and measles and polio and all that in one shot and giving all of that in one shot, right? Saying that they can be compounded together and it's safe. And that the rumor is that may have been what was contributing to the higher levels of autism.
No, so it does not lead to autism. It was the reason that they put them all together, especially for the kids. It's hard to give vaccines to kids, right? And so instead
Well,
of
the other thing is hard to get parents to bring the kids in.
Right.
So-
and multiple times too.
yeah,
right?
instead of
That's
doing
a-
like 3 or 4 shots that they need, and you have to do each of them because for the kids, it's either going to go into the thighs, mainly in the thighs, and so you have to really hold them down. Kids will fight you. They're
stronger than you
they're
think.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember my daughter doing that. And
Really?
she's tough. When she got her first flu vaccine, she fought really hard.
Against you.
Yeah. And I was like, nope, you're getting this. You're gonna have to get
She's
it.
like, you just created generational trauma right then, dude.
Well, that was that one time, and then afterwards, she's like, I'm good. This is
Okay,
not that
all right,
bad.
good.
Yeah. But that's one of the reasons is at least with the kids, they're going to put it all together so that in the one shot. Now, people are saying, oh, well, your immune system can't handle it when they get that one shot full of 4 or 5 vaccines in it. No, that's not the case. Like I said, your immune system can handle a lot more than just that. But we just try to give it as much as. And then you also have, it's going to go by their age, and then they need booster doses and or additional shots as needed. So for someone that's going to be, let's say they're 4 years old, they're going to, if they've never gotten vaccines, they're going to do a catch-up vaccination schedule. And they'll just sort of catch up on all the vaccines that they've missed.
Right.
And then they bring up to speed up to at least that year. And then when they turn 11 and 12, they get their additional shots.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then for the elderly, we sort of do something similar. They can do a catch-up one if they've never gotten it before. But most of the ones that come in, like the elderly, they're pretty good about it. And they've gotten their vaccines. Okay. So either they just need to get a booster dose, or the yearly ones that we need to do is flu and COVID now.
Well, so real quick, if you're like me, who believes that they're healthy enough to not get the flu shot every year, to not get the COVID vaccine every year, right, which is what my mindset is, I think I may have been changed in this little interview because I'm playing with fire.
But he's somewhat protected by herd immunity. I mean,
well, in this little
if
room,
they're
I'm good right now.
So exactly. So herd immunity would be a thing if it was where I actually looked up
he's not going to get it from us.
No,
we've
but
been vaccinated.
Our community does not have herd immunity, I guess is what you're getting.
We're actually, the flu for our county is sitting at 43%.
It's pretty high. Is that high?
43% of people that have gotten vaccines of the flu.
Okay.
Now, I don't think that's like pretty much half. It seems to me that it should be way higher. And I think in Bernalillo or what was the other county?
Santa Fe County, Los Alamos County.
Those were up in the 70s.
Sure.
And so the herd immunity would help with that. Now, herd immunity, I think it matters a lot more for people that are going to be immunocompromised.
Okay.
And so it really helps them out because either they're not able to get the vaccine, they can't get to the place where the vaccine's given. Right. And so the people that are around them have already gotten their vaccine, so that
And then
they're not too worried about
right.
getting
And they're also if they're in that situation, they're probably not walking around Walmart or going to a busy restaurant for a couple of hours.
right. But
Chances
to
are.
go back to your question of the natural immunity versus the immunity you get from vaccines, think of it more of like you're going to be just giving your immune system a sort of test drive or just a taste of what this particular virus or
Would do.
Yeah, what the
Right.
disease, what it can do. And so it's a little small piece of that virus that's being injected into you. It's the inactivated version of it.
Right.
So it's not a live one.
Okay.
The live ones would be like MMR, or if you have the Varivax, which is the chickenpox.
Okay.
Those would be the live ones. And
Of course, I assume all of us are post chickenpox vaccine. We're pre chickenpox
Correct. So,
vaccine,
yeah,
right? So
the
we're going to
shingles-
need to get the shingle shot.
right, the shingles
Right.
is what you're going to be worried about for the elderly. And then
So I
usually
just got
those
one.
are 2 doses. So you get the 1 dose, and then 2 to 6 months later, you get the second dose.
Okay. Vishal, I'm going to have you back on because I'm a naturally curious individual. I could ask
Sure.
you a bunch of questions.
Of course.
And I'd want to ask controversial ones as well because otherwise, what's the point? But we are almost out of time. So I do
Wait.
want to give you the last word. So, Michael, you get to go.
Yes.
And then we'll
I
have
want
Vishal
to
go and we'll
mention
close.
2 presidential things. Our current president has had his flu shot and his COVID shot this season.
Even though
And-
RFK said otherwise.
And the guy who's on Mount Rushmore and on the $1 bill, the father of our country, introduced vaccines. He got our troops vaccinated against smallpox.
Very
so
good
they've been
points.
around for a while.
Okay. All right. Good. Very good points. Now, Vishal, I'm going to give you the closing statement, of course, besides me saying goodbye. But I also wanted to maybe address, like, you're obviously passionate about what you do, right? You wanted to be a pharmacist, right?
Definitely. Oh, yes,
And you were obviously into it. So share with us, like, why pharmacy was such a passion of yours, and then close out with whatever else you'd like.
Pharmacy was a passion for me because I really enjoyed learning about and knowing how the vaccines or medicines affect your body, what it does. And I've always had that. I guess I just have that mindset. I'm also very science and math based, and so this was a perfect fit for me. It was also one of my cousins who really pushed me towards going into this. I was actually going to go into mechanical engineering as well.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, this was something that I really enjoy. And then if you're one of the individuals that's just hesitant, don't know that I want to get the vaccine, I want to get the flu, the COVID, whichever other vaccines, we offer a wide range of them, from pneumonia to tetanus to chickenpox, shingles, whichever. So just give us a call at the pharmacy. And then if you're hesitant, I can definitely walk you through it.
All right. That's Vishal Coldwell-Walla. Coldwell-Walla. All right, cool. With Advanced Medication Management Systems, their phone number is 575-885-2971 or 79.
2979.
Ooh, 575-885-2979. Vishal at ammspharmacy.com. Give him a call or go and visit him. He will tell you that it's perfectly safe to take these vaccines. And it's nice to know that you guys are here and you're available for us and you're right next to Southwest Pharmacy.
Right.
So I really appreciate you coming. We're going to have you on again. And I really want to tangle. I'll do a little bit more research, and I'll really tangle about. I will be the devil's advocate to what your profession is,
Definitely.
as much as I can.
We'll tango. I like dancing.
All right, love it. Yeah, tango. All right, thank you all very much, Vishal, Michael. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.